Men don't need supplements if they are fit and exercise.
So I can speak about this for 2 days.
Don't look at me while saying that. Running actually ruin your knees. Again, just a myth.
I believe you just need to be active.
From what age normally recommend you should start?
I mean, hit yourself on the head with a hammer.
No, but running. Do they go to a doctor? Do they take a medical test? Milind, what about you? Single most piece of advice.
Even though I'm talking about something that was 35, 40 years.
Honestly, these answers have really made me much more aware. Hopefully, when you meet me next, this belly fat will come down. I promise you guys.
Stop taking those body shaming jokes.
So, welcome to the first episode of Wellness Unplugged. Welcome Rohit, welcome Milind. Glad to have you guys here.
Thanks.
I want to dwell just straight deep dive into what we're going to talk about. So first question is, are really supplements necessary if someone has a balanced diet?
Absolutely. The answer is yes. Supplements are necessary even if you have a balanced diet. And however balanced your diet is, you're never going to get the right micronutrients.
Okay.
So I would say nutrition is divided into two parts, macronutrients and micronutrients. Your macros are your carbs, your fats, your proteins and your fiber. And of course water as well. Micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals. Now normally micronutrients are supposed to be coming from your macros.
Okay.
So your food sources that give you protein, carbs, fats, etc. that should contain those micronutrients, the vitamins and the minerals. But because of devaluation of food over the last 50, 100 years, bad farming practices, etc., bad eating habits, processed foods introduced into our diets, the food doesn't have the micronutrients that we need.
Okay.
And that's why we need supplements, to supplement. And it is called a supplement. It's not replacing your diet. You still get your macros from a good balanced diet, but you need a supplement, a micronutrient supplement to get your micronutrients from the vitamins and minerals that the food doesn't contain.
Ren, what about you? You also agree to that?
Yeah, I mean, this is a well-known fact. Today they talk about how the soil has become worse than it was before. So the plants that are grown, the vegetables that we grow, they don't have the vitamins and the minerals that we need. So, of course, now the levels that you require, obviously your tests will tell you what deficiencies you have. Maybe you won't have, but a lot of people more and more today are observing deficiencies in vitamins and minerals. And then, of course, you have your doctor who will advise you from your reports that what is the supplementation you require.
As such a fit athlete, do you also take supplements as a part of your daily routine?
Well, it is interesting because I used to take vitamins regularly when I was swimming competitively because there was a lot of effort, so even though I'm talking about something that was 35, 40 years ago and food in fact was better then, because of the volume, the load of physical effort that I was making, it was still necessary for me to supplement. And this was recommended by all the coaches and all the doctors of the Indian team and all of that. And today, of course, when I met Rohit, in fact, I met Wellman and they explained to me what the situation is today. And then I did my own research, of course, as well. And I said, yes, it would be interesting to see the effect of vitamin supplementation. So then I took their tablet for about 3 months to see, and it had an appreciable benefit that I felt. So I don't know if I would be absolutely regular, but definitely I would say that, and I've been doing this off and on. Also, if I feel a little tired, or if I feel out of sorts for any reason, the first thing is not to rush to the doctor, but is to just try to eat well, which includes supplementation.
Correct.
And then see if you feel better, then you go ahead and make that a regular thing in your diet. So I think it also depends on individuals and the advice that they can get from their experts.
Absolutely. How can people who are watching us figure out what supplements are right for them? Like, do they go to a doctor? Do they take a medical test? Or
So we have a website called Vitabiotics.in. And there's a supplement calculator there. You can see, you can search around and see the different
put your
segments
sex,
we
your
have
age,
exactly, and it recommends you which supplement you should go for. So that's an easy way. And of course, reading and knowledge is everywhere. I mean, follow Milind on his Instagram and you get so much information there. And so is the Vitabiotics.in website. And you just type Wellman on Google and you get everything we have about Wellman, all the research, all the papers, all the recommendations, the right levels of vitamins, minerals, the quality standards, how the supplement is made, absolutely everything.
And you've been doing this for how many years?
Wellman has been around for over 25 years,
Wow.
but Vitabiotics has been around for 54 years now.
54 years.
54 years, and the
Wow.
54 years we have won the Queen's Award 4 times, and we are the only vitamin company that has won the Queen's Award 4 times, 2 of which were given for research. In fact, in the 60 years of the Queen being the Queen, 12,000 Queen's Awards were given, and there were only 2 Queen's Awards given for vitamin research, and
The same
both are with Vitabiotics.
Fantastic.
That did influence me a little bit. It's the number 1 supplement in the UK for men.
Fantastic. Milind, is it really necessary to work out every day to see progress in fitness?
So as Rohit mentioned, what I believe is that the definition of fitness first needs to be explored. Like, what does fitness mean to you? Like, if you're getting fit for a competition, I believe that you should definitely be working out once every day, if not twice a day.
Yeah.
You know, but if it's for general fitness, you
Yeah,
want to live
overall
your
fitness.
life well.
Yeah,
You just want to live your life well, do the things that you would like to do.
correct.
Then I believe you just need to be active.
Okay.
You just need to be active as possible, sit as less as possible,
Okay.
and sleep well.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
those
sleep.
are the important things. You don't really need to work out or exercise or have a routine unless you feel that, yes, I have some weaknesses. My legs need to be stronger. Again, it's for what you want. You felt that, oh, I ran a marathon, my legs are weak, I need to exercise my legs more.
Okay.
So then you need to do that. Oh, my upper body is a little weak, I need to have a stronger upper body. Or my core is weak, I need to have a stronger core. So again, it depends on what your goal is. Why do you want to exercise?
Yeah.
What do you need? You know, what is your goal? And then you achieve that. And then whether you need to work out thrice a week or twice a week or once a week or every day or twice a day, then you create that for yourself. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
There's no other way. You can't copy somebody else.
Yeah.
You
Especially
can't.
not copy you.
I don't copy people, sure.
Also, does aging mean do you really slow down your workouts and avoid intense exercises?
No, not at all. I mean,
No,
Milind is the best
again,
example, right?
yeah,
He's
because I'm
aging like
older.
fine
I'm older
wine.
than
He
both
is
of
like,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Can I reveal your age, guys? I mean, I say I'm sure it must be on Wikipedia. He's 59.
It's not
I don't
Wikipedia, it's on
believe it.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be 59 next month. I mean November
Your first November,
4th.
4th November.
Very bad.
Sorry.
Say it again. Let it go. Huh.
4th November.
Fourth
Yeah,
November,
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Guys, please note it
Oh,
down.
yeah, I'm happy you know. Again, intense is relative. And what was intense for you at 20, you may not even be able to do at the age of 60. So you have to figure out what you want. That's the main thing. I mean, if you ask me, I can swim 10 kilometers in the sea, but not as fast as I used to swim when I was 25. Right? And whether speed actually is important. Again, is it important for you?
Yeah.
So what you do lose very quickly as you age is speed and power. But then you also gain endurance. You also gain wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, so there is a kind of balance there as well. So you want to live a better life, you figure out what you need for that, and you achieve it.
Yeah.
So is it true that men don't need supplements if they are fit and exercise regularly? It's a
No,
myth,
that's
right?
not true.
Yeah.
Yeah, because in fact you're putting more demand on the body. You're
Okay.
exercising more, your energy expenditure is more. You're in a positive energy balance, which is a state of mind and body where you need more energy. And also you eat more, in the process of requiring and satisfying your body, you eat more. And then you don't get all the micronutrients from the food because you assume that you get it.
Yeah.
You get all your macronutrients, so your carbohydrates, proteins, fats are satisfied. But because the macronutrients they lack in micronutrients, you don't have the right level of micronutrients to support that structure of the body or the extra demand that the body is going through. So in fact, if you're exercising and have an active life, which everyone should have, by the way, you need more vitamins. You definitely need vitamins.
Do you take any supplements as part of your daily wellness routine? I'm sure you take. I can see it on your chest.
At times, yeah, at times. So when Wellman came to me, like I said earlier, and I really did some research about it, and I said maybe especially as I'm aging, I need to look at this as part of a routine. And I tried it out, and I really thought it was beneficial. But I must be truthful and say I don't always remember to take the...
For that, you need another supplement.
Yeah, what is that?
It's called
I thought badam khao, badam.
No. Badam wouldn't do that.
Khao.
Badam wouldn't do that. You need a supplement called Neuromind.
Neuromind. So I remember to take my other
That would
supplements.
remember you to take.
How do I
remind you
remember to take
one.
Neuromind?
We'll make something for that as well. I'll call you to take that. But
Remember. Yeah.
once you start taking Neuromind, then you would always remember.
Can multivitamins contribute to the overall vitality and energy levels?
So I can speak about this for 2 days. We don't have that much time.
We don't have too much time.
We don't have that much time. But say, for example, vitamin D.
Yeah.
Yeah. The known role of vitamin D is bone health.
Correct.
People say that vitamin D, and that's proved, and there's so many papers published about it, that vitamin D helps with the absorption of calcium. So you get stronger bones because of utilization of calcium in the right way. But if you see in the last 4 or 5 years, more research has been in the field of immunity.
Exactly.
And how vitamin D boosts your immune system, how it reduces inflammation in the tissue, in the cells of the body.
Correct.
Similarly, vitamin D is useful for avoiding type 2 diabetes, because it has an important role in improving sensitivity to insulin and reducing insulin resistance. So there are just more and more things coming out now. Vitamin B12 and folic acid. If I spoke about this 20 years ago, that folic acid was absolutely necessary for pregnant women during pregnancy. People wouldn't know what folic acid is, where do you get your folic acid from. Now people know that the main reason why children are born with congenital diseases and abnormalities like spina bifida, which is a neural tube defect, is 100% avoidable if the mother takes folic acid and vitamin B12. So all these uses are now more known, and that's why there's no defined role of vitamins. What is vitamin good for? And then you talk about longevity. We have products under our Wellman and Wellwoman category for Wellman 50 plus, Wellwoman 50 plus, Wellwoman 70 plus, Wellman 70 plus, and they have ingredients at levels which are optimum for those age groups and those genders. So it is, people call it segmented marketing. I call it segmented science. And hence why vitamins have roles in every living life.
You know, you're a runner.
Yeah.
Question which I had in my mind is, running actually ruin your knees, or is that again just a myth?
Running in the wrong way will ruin your knees.
Okay.
Like anything you do in the wrong way is going to be harmful.
Like like.
I mean, hit yourself on the head with a hammer.
No, but running.
So I'll just tell you that,
like, how can running how can
is,
run
is
wrong?
a natural
I can imagine
ability.
in the.
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So running is a natural ability.
Correct.
Right? We are evolved as runners. In fact, they say that we are the best runners on the planet. When it comes to land animals. There is no animal that can escape from us if we're chasing it. If the animal is chasing us, it'll catch us quickly, like even a rat will catch us. But if we are chasing, a form of hunting called persistence hunting, which means you chase something long enough and you will catch it. And that is the form of hunting in which we excel. We can catch anything, whether it's a horse, a deer,
cheetah,
anything. Because we are again evolved to be more efficient than them at endurance. We don't have fur. Number one. We run upright, which means our lung capacity is more. They kind of contract, and if you've seen a cheetah running also, the cheetah gets very tired after like 1 kilometer. We can run for 200 kilometers at the same pace. Wow. So what happens is the animal gets scared, it sprints off, it's tired, it stops. We are still running slowly behind it. It sprints again, but after sprinting 4 times, it will collapse. So that is persistence hunting. So it is such a natural activity for us. Now what has happened is, if you see in today's time, a lot of people who have started running, like India has currently, I think, one of the fastest growing running populations in the world. More Indians start running today than in any other country. But the thing is, they start running at, say, the age of 35, 40, when they've realized that for them gyms don't work, or whatever it might be, then running is great, let's try running. But they've not run maybe for 20 years. Because as children, we all run. But around puberty, we stop. Maybe it's not cool. But they start running at 35, 40. Your muscles that you require for running have deteriorated. You've not used them for 20 years. So when you start running, you're using your walking muscles, which is a totally different mechanism. Running movement is different from walking movement. So walking especially is, the movement is you touch your heel to the ground first. It's heel-toe. It's a heel-toe movement, which even for, say, walking race, that is one of the rules, that your heel has to touch and your toe has to touch and one foot has to be on the ground at all times. Whereas in running, both feet are off the ground during the cycle, the movement. So what happens is, if you run with the running movement, which is basically on the front of the foot, there is less impact on the entire chain. Less impact on the knees, less impact on the hips, less impact on the spine. But if you touch your heel to the ground and you keep hitting your heel to the ground, the impact goes directly to the knee. There's no cushioning at all. Now, if you see the way the body is created or evolved, 25% of all the bones in your body are in your feet. Why are they there? It is to absorb impact.
Yeah.
So when you run with the correct technique and maybe with minimal cushioning and your foot can feel the ground, then the body understands the most efficient form to adopt.
And that's
when
what
it does
you
that,
run without footwear, right?
That's what I do.
Yeah,
Most of the time I run without footwear.
Fantastic.
And a lot of people have researched this all over the world, that if you run correctly, your joints actually will become stronger.
Wow.
Yeah, so running is actually good for your joints if done correctly.
Fantastic. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a myth. Run correctly. Call up Milind next time, read his book, and you'll know how to run correctly.
Or now call Atul because he knows.
Milind, what do you say to men who think it's too late to start a fitness regime?
Well, not just men, also women.
Yeah.
For anybody who wants to improve their quality of life in every way, in any way, it is never too late. Just take the first step and again understand what you want. What is your goal? What do you want to do so that you require to change? And once you're clear about that, then you take the first step in that direction and take it slowly, take it gradually. Every day, every moment is a learning experience. And it teaches you more about yourself, about your body, about your mind, and further what you need to do.
People over the age of 50, men, you tend to lose muscle mass.
Yes.
So then protein intake becomes a very, very important part of your diet. And I'm not talking about just regular protein which comes from your lentils and your paneer and chicken and things like this. Like protein powders. What's your take on that?
It depends upon how much protein are you looking for per day. So if you're put on a diet, or if you put yourself on a diet, say if you're looking for 160 grams of protein a day, how are you going to get that from? A scoop of protein powder gives you around roughly 25 grams of protein.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can have twice a day maybe that. 50 grams come from there. The remaining 100 grams, if you can manage to get from your food, wonderful. 100 grams of chicken would give you 20 grams of protein. People have a lot of misconception and myths that if I go binge eating eggs, I'm going to just make my protein for the day. That's not true, because a large egg contains only 6 grams of protein.
6 grams, correct.
But it's also fat bound. So you also get 5 grams of fat. So again, comes back to what Milind said earlier, the goal. What are you looking for? Where do you want to reach? If you're on a calorie restricted diet, you need to watch your fat and you need to watch your carbs and then supplement your protein accordingly. In that case, it's important that you get protein from your protein powders, because otherwise food will not give you. Every food item that you have which is rich in protein, like say fish, lamb, chicken, whatever basic things, they all are fat bound, and you get some fat with that, and you may not be allowed on your diet to have an excess fat. Maybe you want to restrict that to 50 grams a day of fat. To get 160 grams of protein with 100 grams of carb and 50 grams of fat, impossible without supplement. But if you're on a normal diet, and if you're on a maintenance thing where you don't, you're taking around 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day, you can definitely manage all the protein from your food. Then you don't need the protein powder.
But people over 50, men over 50, women over 50, protein is important, because
protein is important.
Muscle mass loss.
Protein is important for everybody.
Correct. No, but I believe after 50 it
goes down faster.
It goes down faster.
Yeah. India is a center of sarcopenia, by the way. I mean, we talk about sarcopenia is loss of muscle mass. So we talk about loss of bone mass, which also India tops the chart. And it's such a paradox. India is a country of so many rivers, so much water around and in the country.
Yeah.
And we are devoid of magnesium. Highest level of magnesium deficiency, one of the highest levels of magnesium deficiency in India. Magnesium comes from water. We are a hot country with lots of sunshine, but we have one of the highest levels of vitamin D deficiency.
Correct.
Calcium, we produce so much milk and milk products, but we have one of the highest levels of calcium deficiency. And so is protein. We think that we are eating well with the dal and the paneer and all of that, but the protein content of that is very low. I'll give you statistics. Ideally, to have good muscle mass, you should have 20 to 25% of your calories coming from protein at least. The World Health Organization or regulatory bodies of different countries on an average recommend minimum 15 to 16% of your daily calories should come from protein. You know how much an Indian eater takes a day?
No.
About 6 to 8%, which is half of the minimum.
Wow.
We are so low on protein. So no wonder we have muscle mass loss after a certain age.
Forget Google, forget ChatGPT. I want your number. Anytime I have a problem, I'm going to call you up. You're a wealth of information.
Encyclopedia.
Please feel free to call anytime.
And can supplements cure or prevent diseases, or they're just for overall wellness?
They can treat and prevent both.
Okay.
So the preventative medicine is coming up big time around the world because it saves a lot of cost and burden that healthcare systems have, like the municipal corporation in India, health corporation, FDAs in the US, or NHS in the UK, etc.
Yeah.
Right, the amount of money that is spent in diabetes management once you have diabetes is so many x more than preventing it.
Yeah, yeah.
So preventative medicine, vitamins are very important, but it's also proven now that it can be used as a treatment, therapy. And the best thing about it is they're not contraindicated with anything, like drugs.
Correct.
You have one drug, you have to check everything else that you may be taking.
Side effects, this, that, etc.
You may have high blood pressure and you also have a kidney problem. Then you need to check if those drugs are mutually okay. With vitamins, that's not the case. You may be on high blood pressure medication, but you can still take fish oil to supplement, and so that your blood pressure medications also perform better. So there are no contraindications or interactions with vitamin supplements. That's the best thing, that you can take it with anything, you can take it anytime, and you can do it throughout a lifetime.
See, you can see I've got a little fat. You already mentioned it sometime,
Yeah,
can you
I can
really
see it.
spot reduce fat from areas like belly or the thighs?
Well,
I've seen in Instagram, you just do this one exercise, like cut, and बोलते हो चले जाएगा 6 महीने में चले जाएगा. This
पहले तो इसका Instagram बंद करो. Everything from Instagram is taking.
So again,
spot reduction hota hai?
every individual is different.
Yeah, okay.
Your genetics are different, and so some exercises work differently for different people. So it's possible. Like some people put on muscle very easily. Some people don't put on muscle that easily. Some people lose fat very easily. Some people don't lose fat very easily. So of course, the body, again, like I said, it adapts, and the body's evolved to be efficient. So when you do an exercise that requires you to be slimmer, your body will achieve that if you focus on that exercise. Like for example, if you look at a weightlifter, say a power lifter, and a marathon runner, right? They're doing whatever they need to do. The body is going through that, and one of them will become very broad and muscular, and one will become really thin and tall and lanky. That is the body achieving the most efficient form. So logically, yes, that spot reduction is possible if you find the right exercise for yourself.
Okay.
And again, if you have the right kind of diet. So again, it's not just about one thing. Everything has to come together for you to be able to, like some people feel that, oh, I like my shoulders like this, but I've got a little belly fat. I want to lose only the belly fat. But you will lose weight all across.
Correct.
If you want to lose weight, it can't go in just one place, but maybe more in one place if you do those kind of exercises.
Yeah, because I've seen people in the gym who are, sorry to say the word, fatter than me.
Wow.
And
You can say bigger than.
bigger than me. Sorry, I can't say that. I don't know. But and they are like doing crunches.
Yes.
Okay, and after that I see them in the canteen eating like badada vada.
Yeah.
Now if you're eating badada vada, fried food, and still thinking that doing 100, and I feel they will even hurt their back in doing these stomach crunches.
Oh, I thought hurt their back eating fried food. Yeah. It has to be balanced. You have to look at it holistically. You can't look at just one aspect of anything and expect to achieve something. There are so many things that go into achieve anything.
Yeah.
So even when it comes to fat loss, it can't be just calorie deficit. No, you also have to exercise. You have to be active. Otherwise, the body doesn't understand. Like I keep saying, the body has its own consciousness.
Correct.
Our mind works in a certain way, and our body works in a certain way. The body is also kind of conscious about what it needs to do. That's why we have homeostasis. It maintains the level of hormones, maintains your temperature, it maintains all the levels that need to be maintained. How does it do that? It has its own intelligence. Your mind works in a certain way, it has its own intelligence. But for them to work together, you need to give the body and mind everything that is required, or as far as possible, everything that is required.
I like the part you said, how the body adapts and is very conscious.
It adapts. I mean, we human beings are the most adaptable large organism on the planet.
Absolutely.
Other organisms might go extinct where we can actually thrive. They say we came out of Africa, but we have populated every single environment on the globe. How did we do that? Because we adapted. We got different features, different skin color, different blood types, different blood composition, when you go to different parts of the world. So how do we do that? We are masters at adaptation.
From what age normally recommend you should start this?
I would say from prenatal, fetal age.
Seriously?
Since you're in the mother's womb, you need supplements.
See, he's the CEO of Wellman, and that's how he's trying to sell it right from
before you're born
to death.
You have to.
Not birth, before birth.
Before birth,
birth,
yeah.
sorry.
That's what we call, there is a scientific term for that. It's called fetal programming.
Oh.
By looking after the mothers of today, the women of today, or women in fertility age, you're actually, what you're doing is getting a next healthier generation. So it's fetal programming, and that programming starts before you are born.
But I mean, it's also logical. I mean, if the mother is not healthy,
Absolutely, yeah.
if the mother doesn't have the strength, or the mother has deficiencies, they are going to be passed on as
Yes.
weaknesses
Yes.
to the child.
Yeah.
So you have to try to, balance those as far as possible.
Is it true that supplements have no side effects just because they are natural?
So see, there is a truth and a false there. True and false. Are supplements natural? All natural? If you have to ask me yes and no, no, they are not all natural.
Okay.
Are they all not natural? The answer is no. They are not all natural. All vitamins cannot be extracted from natural foods. They have to be extracted from some source, natural source, and then worked on in a lab to make them conducive to a formulation, to convert them into a formulation.
That's where the unnatural part comes
Right.
in. Yeah.
And also, everything is not unnatural. There are a lot of things that are 100% natural, like fish oil. It comes from fish, 100% natural. It's just purified and purified and purified to take all the impurities out.
Correct.
It's 100% natural products. So it's a mix, but a good multivitamin supplement that is approved by the local regulations and authorities can be considered as close to natural as possible.
Has your fitness routine evolved as you've grown older? Like you're swimming, and now...
A lot. Again, it depends on your goal. Like when I was swimming, my goal was to win the national championships, represent the country, obviously be the fastest person in my event and all of that. So obviously everything I did
was for that.
Everything, even my mental process, everything was designed and directed towards that improvement. That's all. So that was my goal for fitness at that time. But today it's something else. I mean, I'd still like to be as active as possible, and going into my 60s as well and 70s, and however long I live, I'd still like to climb mountains, I'd like to swim in the sea, I'd like to hike and trek, and do whatever I can imagine, Like the oldest person to do Ironman, for example, is an 86-year-old woman.
Wow.
I'd like to do Ironman when I'm 86. I mean, why not? So those are the goals that I would like to have, and I think those are attainable for anybody. Again, first, if you imagine them, and then you work towards them.
Absolutely.
It's nothing.
You dream about it.
You first dream about it, then believe in it.
Exactly.
And then do it.
So for a person like me, like I'm 56, you have a specific product that Wellman, which
50
is
plus.
50 plus. So that would have everything required?
That would have everything. That's
like an egg.
It's like an egg, yeah. It's like better than egg.
It's like chicken also.
It's like a fortified, form of.
So what would that have? Just like we discussed a lot of these. It will have zinc.
So when formulating, we look at aspects such as minerals, all zinc, magnesium, calcium, etc. All of the iron are very important. And then we look at B vitamins, all the B1, B2, B3, B6, B9 and B12, the main B vitamins. And then the oil-soluble vitamins A, D, E and K. And we also look at amino acids, L-carnitine, arginine, that are important for different functions of the body, moving the fat from fat cells, etc. And then we focus on antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. Now sometimes these anti-inflammatories could be also present in the vitamin form, like vitamin D is a very strong anti-inflammatory.
Yeah.
Zinc is an anti-inflammatory. Omega-3 fatty acids, anti-inflammatory. So when you combine all of that, the anti-inflammatories, antioxidants to fight against the free radicals in your body, anti-inflammatories to fight inflammation in the body, and then vitamins and minerals for general support, you have a complete supplement.
Fantastic.
So deficiencies also, vitamin and mineral deficiencies also impact your hormone balance?
Absolutely, yes. I mean, almost every hormone is related to vitamins. And hormones affect your genes. That genes can be tweaked. I know, I mean, the age-old thing is that we are what we eat
and what we
got.
Yeah.
What we got, we cannot change from our parents, inheritance, the genetic material. But what we can change is our lifestyle. But no, the actual thing now, that science has proven is you can also change your, you can override your genes to a large extent.
And that is by taking?
That is by, one way of doing that is taking vitamin mineral supplement, a balanced supplement.
Fantastic. And which, once you get that, the better genes, which you didn't get from parents, you can even pass it on to your...
Absolutely. And that is fetal programming. Then you pass it on to the next generation.
But I would think that, that is logical. Now, of course, it may be proven that you can tweak your genetics, but that's what evolution is all about.
Yes.
I mean, how did we evolve into the way we look today versus people in Africa or people in China? We all look different. We've all adapted. Our genes have changed.
Perfect topic you have brought up, albeit towards the end. But
those have changed over many generations and thousands of years. And you're talking about change within like maybe a year.
Very short period. But if you see those pictures, the evolution pictures that you see, the ape-like man walking and all that, that took us 1,000 years.
Exactly.
From that
millions maybe.
to walk.
Yeah.
And then it took us only last 100 years to go from there to an obese, person. And I said, how easily we destroy ourselves.
Of course.
But if you see that ape, the ape had a muscular body.
Yeah.
The limbs were a bit odd and bent, structure wasn't right.
Yeah.
But they had the six-pack abs and all that. And why? Because they were eating natural things,
Yeah.
They were eating the meat. They were catching and eating, the hunting and eating.
Hunting and gathering. Whatever,
and they were eating a lot of greens and vegetables. Whereas one of the things that we have done to our diet is we have invented grains, right? We have invented wheat. And then we went through all that, wheat research. Wheat, grow the wheat, then you grind the wheat, then you put water, then you make a dough out of it, then you put the oil, then you make chapati.
You increase the percentage of gluten.
Absolutely. And then you make a chapati, and look at the research and look at the work from the wheat to the bread. And what it's giving you is a high glycemic index food, right? Yeah. Whereas those apes were not having that. There was no concept of chapati and roti then, right? There were no grains. They were eating greens and meat. So if you eat greens and meat and reduce the grains, not completely take it off, you would look not like the ape, but you'll have the body of the ape. Right?
Don't look at me while saying that.
Or the strength of an ape.
I'm just joking. And lastly, what's the single most important piece of advice you'd give to somebody looking to improve their health?
I'll have 5 things instead of single, but we'll speak in one sentence. Do not smoke at all.
Okay.
Do not consume alcohol more than twice a week.
Okay.
Drink about 3 liters of water.
Every day?
Every day. Work out at least half an hour every day. Sleep for at least 6 to 7 hours every day. And one last thing, have a Wellman every day.
You had to plug that. Milind, what about you? Single most piece of advice?
Single.
You can also give multiple like him. But
I could, but so somebody who wants to improve their health obviously understands that there is something lacking. They want to get better. So I think it's very important to understand what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. Right? Everybody has strengths and weaknesses.
Correct.
I have strengths and weaknesses. You have. Everybody has. They have to figure out what they are. Physically, mentally, emotionally, maybe even spiritually. What do they feel they're lacking? And start working on that slowly and gradually. And from the experience, learn what it means, understand then how you want to go forward. But start with one step. A lot of people are intimidated by the fact, how will I do it? Health, itna bada, how will I do fitness? Even bigger, and so much information around the place. So it best is to understand your own goal. Why are you doing this? Where do you see the lack?
Correct.
And work on that lack first.
Fantastic. I think in these 2 answers we got like the entire Brahmand.
And take your Wellman pill.
And take your Wellman.
Okay. See you guys. Thank you so much, and stay connected, as we said, on all our social media platforms, and improve your health. Yeah. Thank you.